Welcome to Common Curiosities Retirement, where we aim to help people learn financial strategies they may want to use in their own life, all while trying to avoid the intimidation or boredom of classic financial meetings. Here's your host, my husband, Michael Custer. Welcome back. In this series, we have been answering questions from listeners that they've submitted. This has been really fun for us. It's fun to have something that we know our listeners are wondering about and to be able to work through that together. So please continue submitting questions if you have them. This is fun for us to do. Shout out to Sarah for submitting a question, and this is what she's wondering. She said, as for paying off student loans, if the interest rates you are earning on other investments or something are higher than the interest you're being charged to keep the loan or on the loan, is it better to just keep paying the loan off according to the plan and not just pay it all at once? Because you could pay it off all at once, or it feels better to be debt-free. The, feeling better being more of an emotional decision. So kind of, I guess, bottom line is, should you pay it all off right away because of maybe the emotional benefit or the benefit of having no loan? Or should you kind of pay it according to plan in order to be earning more of the interest rate or more interest that you have in other investments that may be higher than the interest that you're being charged for in your loan?
So you think she's asking, I'm making the assumption my interest, I can make investments at a larger average rate of return than I'm paying on the loan?
Yeah, I do think that's,
Good. So this is the age-old question. And I think it goes for student loans, car loans. The biggest one we talk about is the home.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, a lot of people are in that 3, 4, 5% home loan.
Okay.
Where if it were me, I would say, man, if I could get a 3, 4, even 5% mortgage, I'm going to stretch that out as long as they're willing to give that to me,
Mm-hmm.
because I would say that's cheap money. So I know over the course of time, I might be able to make a larger after-tax rate of return than what I'm paying the bank.
Okay. So you're saying if home loans are 3, 4, 5, there's probably some investment somewhere that's going to make you more than that.
So people, okay, what's the average rate of return on this index fund or that index fund or this mutual fund or ETF? So yeah, there's, depending on the time category, yeah, the argument could be made, and there you can look backwards. I can average more on that than I can for my loans. So my mortgage or student loans. I think she made a great point, though, and I think I would say the vast majority of people, or maybe not vast, but more than half of America
Mm-hmm.
should consider just paying that loan down.
Okay.
Because really, to make it make sense, you have to take the money that you would have paid extra and invest it. So let's say you're
So the money that you could have used to just pay off the loan, you have to be investing that
right.
money.
So
Yeah.
let's say your student loans, you have to pay $2,000 a month.
Sure.
You're a med doctor. Well, instead of paying $8,000 a month,
Okay.
you would have to invest that extra $6,000 to have the math make sense.
Okay.
How many
In
people
order
are
to be
going to
putting the
invest
money
that
toward.
whole extra dollar, invest it, then pay it off? A
Yeah.
lot of people say, well, the emotional feeling of saying, okay, my doctor student loans are 200,000-300,000. If I
Yeah.
can chunk away at that very quickly, I like seeing that come down. It feels great. You start doing it mathematically. Does it make the most sense? Maybe not. Now, something you want to look at, especially for doctors, dentists, lawyers, there's different repayment plans.
Yes.
So this would fall a little out of my expertise. I know a lot about it, but we're going to hire somebody for an hour to go through our situation and what we should do. But there's PSLF, there's RBR, there's the
Those
SAVE
are
plan that's going away.
public service loan forgiveness, and then why am I having
Income-based repayment.
public service loan forgiveness and income-driven or income-based repayment. So those are kind of two different ways to approach. They're very separate from each other. You could do them both, but two different things that you can do when you're looking at repaying your loan.
So if I was Sarah in this example, she's in med school, she said, I would say, okay, what are my student loans, the total balance? What are my interest rates there?
Mm-hmm.
How much will I make at my given job?
Mm-hmm.
Because, if you make a lot, your tax bracket might be up, your income-based repayment might be more. If you're making a little less, that might be lower. Then I would look at my spouse's income, because you're filing jointly, your income-based payments are based on both your incomes.
Right.
So then I'll look at, okay, what if we file separately?
Yeah.
Now you do give up tax benefits there,
Okay.
but you could say, okay, if my spouse is making quite a bit and I'm in residency, my income-based repayments could be lower if we file separately potentially. But if we're together and he's making quite a bit, it could raise our repayment.
Yeah. And there's some talk in the medical world of, oh, if your spouse has a job with an income that is going to raise your repayment, file separately. And then if you have a tax specialist that's willing to work with you on this, you can amend it to be joint. So then you get the separately aspect of repaying the lower income driven repayment value, and then you get the tax benefit of filing
Yeah.
jointly. So that's a more complicated way. You'd have to have somebody who's willing to kind of help walk you through that.
I
But
need more like I've listened to a lot of
what I've
webinars on
heard.
this and podcasts on this, and I haven't heard that one.
Really?
So
There's a lot of talk
it's a
of
great
that
idea.
in the medical world. So whether it's an actual thing or not, I guess we'd have to look into that. But
Yeah. So
yeah,
there's a lot of things moving forward, especially with the doctors. The home loan for me is more of a what type of person you are. So a
yeah,
lot of people, we had interest rates for really low. They're locked in at 3%, 4%, or even less than 3%
sure.
home
On
loan.
their home loan. Yep.
So some people will say, hey, if I can make more in a cash type asset, so you don't see that
Okay.
volatility. So a
Mhm.
high yield savings account, a money market, CDs, something like that. They say, okay, if I'm paying the bank 3 and my CD was paying me 4 or 5,
Mhm.
I'm making more. So I'm going to do that. Now, the thing there is those are ordinary income taxes. So you have to look at your after tax rate of return. Because if you get 4
Mhm.
and you're in a 35% tax bracket or whatever, are you keeping more than you're paying the bank? Other people might say, okay, I want to get a little more tax efficient. Maybe I buy stocks or index funds or ETFs or mutual funds. Those could average me, they can historically look. That could be a little more tax efficient. I can make maybe 8, 10, 12, or whatever those are getting me.
Okay.
That's a lot more than 3.
Yeah.
The thing I would say there is, would I do that? I would strongly consider it,
Mhm.
but everybody's different. I think a lot of people should just chunk it away at their loans. But
Yeah.
I think you want to say, okay, we will see market pullbacks.
Mhm.
And it's been a little while since we have them. So people invested for 5, 10, 15 years. They haven't seen or really researched what happens.
Yeah.
The Great Recession, the Depression, the 2000 tech bubble. People make comments, why would I do other things? My investments are doing great.
Right.
And I can make a strong argument for the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. More and more people are getting involved. Companies are doing well. I think investing should be strong for you, but you will see market pullbacks, and we're seeing less of them, which I think is a good thing as we're getting trained a little bit better on
Mm.
how we see those. But I think people say, okay, well, you have to go through the example of what if my account goes down 20, 30% if I'm invested kind of aggressively?
Yeah.
Can I stick with the plan? Because if you can't, and it's easy if you have 5 or 10 grand, but if you have 100 or 500 million, you go down 20 or 30%.
You
Do
gotta
I
get out.
make bad decisions at that point? Or do I sell when my investments are down?
Yeah.
Then go stay
Because of fear, really.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's scary. That's your life savings.
Mhm.
But if you look historically, when we're down, in my head, every time we go down, it gets a little less of a risk
Yeah.
because the price is cheaper. And then I know, okay, if companies continue to do well, they should go back up. So I like it as buy opportunity, but it's scary to see your account
Decrease
down
like
on
that.
paper.
And so that's when the idea of, oh, I'm going to just pay it according to plan and allow my investments to make me more money with that money that I otherwise would have used to pay things off. Well, when that starts kind of decreasing and then I panic and then move things around, that's when that falls apart because now you're not able to make that extra interest
Correct.
because you're taking your money, maybe you're selling or you're pulling things
Correct.
out. And so now we've lost, we've maybe made decisions that aren't going to help us a ton financially because of fear. And so that's where this kind of, not only is it a math equation, not only is it where can I make more, but also there's like an emotional component of can we stick through the highs and lows? Can
Correct.
we stick this out if something were to change to make this make sense for us versus just paying a home or a car or a student loan
Correct.
off?
And there's at least with my clients, I don't know. They'll tell me their risk tolerance, but what happens is, okay, the market's doing well. They're all, oh, I want to be aggressive, man. And they,
People overestimate it. Kind of reminds me a little bit in our world of like the pain. People are always like, I have a really high pain
correct.
tolerance. And you're like,
Yeah. I like think I have a high pain tolerance. You put a giant needle in my arm, I don't like it.
you don't like it.
Or
I mean, so similar. Like when
correct,
people are like, I can handle risk, and you're like,
correct,
yeah, when push comes to shove,
correct.
can you?
So then I know, okay, how can we actually, where some people, their account goes down, I got to liquidate and put it towards my house. It's like, well, that was different than plan. Where other people, market's down, they're calling, hey, this is on sale. Let's
Mhm.
find some opportunities here. Then I know, okay, this plan might be right for these people or these
They see it
plans.
as an opportunity as
Correct.
opposed to like a reason to
Correct.
panic.
So I don't give you, it's the end of 2025. 2022 was down. So I saw a lot of activity there.
Hmm.
And I learned, okay, these people and these people, what do they like? But then 23, 24, 25, we have 3 strong years in a row.
Yeah.
More people are saying, well, I want to be more aggressive.
Mm.
And you got to know, well, how did we like it in 2022? So
Okay.
it fits into your home payoff and your student loans of, okay, maybe you're paying 6, 7 on your loan. Maybe could you get an after tax rate of return on your investments? I can make an argument there, but you're going to see volatility. And I think it's healthy. And I think it creates great buying opportunities, but it's not for everybody.
Sure. That makes sense.
And then I'll look at your taxes for them.
Okay.
So with student loan interest, you or mortgage interest, if you file taxes a certain way, you may be able to take a deduction there. So it's something
Okay.
to look into them. We're not diving too far into that, but um, if you pay it all off, you might get a little less tax benefits. But again,
Mm.
the nice thing they like is I don't have payments.
Right.
So
It's
yeah,
done with, and you get to kind of be emotionally settled in that way. And
correct.
there's a feeling of accomplishment, I would say, with like, oh,
Huge.
my loans are paid off. Like
Yeah,
I'm debt free, and if you pay off your house or pay off
correct.
your car or pay off your student loans, whatever it might be,
You get that snowball rolling, and people I
a
like.
good feeling.
Um, I don't think I can say for their name for compliance. They're like, hey, just attack your smallest debt,
Hmm.
regardless of the interest rate.
Hmm.
Well, mathematically, if you got an interest rate at 25% and 3%, you would probably attack the larger one first.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I would say more than half,
Hmm.
should say, hey, let's get one done, then it applied to the next one. Let's get
Yeah.
the ball moving because
That's
it's
like,
fun to see.
yeah, they say making your bed in the morning is good for you because you start with a task
Oh, here we
completed.
go.
Ha! I live my
I
bed
hate
being
making
made.
the bed, but I make it
But
for you.
yes, I know, bless your heart. But there's a
And I
book.
even crease those pillows
Chop those pillows, baby.
just for you. Every morning, I'm like, I hate making this bed.
Um, but there was a book, I don't know if they did a study or what it was, but I
It was an
read this
eight.
one.
It's gotten
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah, about like, start your day with a task completed because that's only going to kind of propel you
Yeah.
forward. Similar concept. Starting with a victory kind of makes you want to continue
Yep.
down that road.
What
Uh,
about the ice baths? Any science behind that? I
I'm
see like ice
doing
baths,
an
ice baths,
ice bath.
like is really good for you. Where other people say, well, it just is, disciplined. Is there
Yeah,
science if I take ice baths if it's good for me, or is it like I'm just disciplined?
I think you could find research supporting either position. I mean, icing is anti-inflammatory. That's why they recommend
Yeah.
you do it when you are injured. And so, yeah, there's some degree of like it's going to decrease inflammation. But
Okay.
if you can, there is, like you said, some degree of a mental game too of like, can I force myself to do something uncomfortable for X amount of time? And can I continue to do that?
Okay.
And there's a lot of life is, can you
Yep.
overcome the voice in your head?
Yep.
That's a hard thing to do. I mean, with running too, like anytime I run, a lot of it is just, can I
Yep.
be louder than the voice in my head telling me
Correct.
that I don't like doing this? So, but, and that's, I mean, almost connects in a way with well, can you be louder than the voice in your head that's saying your investments are down, I'm in panic mode.
Yeah.
Like, can you trust that maybe this,
Get a plan.
the
You need
best
to have a
thing is going
plan
to be.
beforehand. Yeah.
So we had decided we were going to try to end episodes in a new
I have
way.
one more thing for.
Oh, we're not ending yet. Yes,
If I was Sarah, what was I going to say? I would look at. Oh, I lost my train of thought.
you got this.
No, I don't. Forgot it.
Okay.
It'll come to me.
All right. Well, we'll do our ending question, and then if you come up with
Yep.
it, then we'll
So
go
I said,
backwards.
yeah.
Um. Okay. So our new way of ending,
Oh,
or
I found
to
it.
try. Nice. Okay. I was delaying.
Okay.
There we go.
If I was a doctor or one thing, so you might have federal loans,
Yeah.
and some people will refinance to private loans because they get
Sure.
their interest lower. I think you don't just automatically do that. I think you want to really consider that because federal loans, they do have some protections. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. That's why we're writing this person. But I think like, okay, if you pass away, maybe it's not responsible there. Or
Mm,
you could have those. I don't think private loans would qualify as much for the base repayment plans or forgiveness.
okay.
So I would make sure I do my due diligence there before just
Or
saying, oh, well, this loan's at 6, I'm going to refinance it to a 4 because I can save. Well, you might have given up what you were actually attending to. I've seen
okay.
that
So there
that
might be some
miss. Yep.
complications or some things to
Yep.
pay attention if you're planning to use public service loan forgiveness or different things like that. And
Yes.
they might not apply to private.
I think like some would go like federal might be forgiven if you pass away. The other privates are
Mhm.
going to go on to your heirs. Like, don't quote me on that, but I think that
Sure.
is one of them too.
Okay. So there's some things to consider.
Yep.
Even if you are, maybe seeing a refinancing rate that'll be lower and better.
Yep.
There's some things to think about. Okay. All right. So now we're ending. We are going to start asking when it's just us. We're going to say, what is one thing we saved on this week?
We're going to do this for everyone, or can we switch it up on different
We
ones?
could switch it up.
Okay.
One thing we saved on this week and one thing we splurged on this week for funsies. If you can't think of anything, you could maybe just pick one or the other. But
One thing I saved on was yesterday I forgot to bring your delicious leftovers to work, and I was really hungry for lunch, and I didn't eat a great lunch. I don't usually take breaks, but I was very, very hungry, and I wanted to go to McDonald's or something across the street, and or there's a restaurant I like, and I didn't. So I saved
probably would have
money
been
there.
fine if you went to McDonald's.
Probably. You see that
Not
app?
for your arteries.
The app
But
can get like 99-cent burgers, but no, there's a restaurant I like, but so I saved there. But my
okay.
stomach was not helping me at the basketball game yesterday.
Okay. Okay.
What did I spend on?
Did you splurge at all this?
I'll have to think on that one.
Okay.
What's yours?
One thing I saved on. This was not by choice, but I really wanted a coffee and some donuts from my favorite bakery, and they were closed. So I saved on that because I didn't buy a coffee or donuts. One thing I splurged on. Oh man, not really. Okay. Another thing I saved on, there was a shirt that I really wanted, and I just said, no, I have a lot of shirts at home. I don't need to buy this one, so I didn't. One thing I splurged on this week is I got my hair cut. That's not something I do frequently. I only do it 1 to 3
It
times
looks
a year.
tremendous.
Thank you. So
Amazing.
I went and got my hair cut. So that was one thing.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, good. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Like we said, we really enjoy answering your questions. It's something fun for us to consider. It's a way to, have us navigate things that are not manufactured in our own brains. So please continue to submit questions. We will see those or email them.
And I would love video questions. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. If you want to record yourself asking a question, that would be fun, or just audio. Yeah, you can get a hold of us and say, I have a question. Where can I send it? And we can find a way for you to get that to us. So we would love to continue answering your questions. That's fun for us. And one of the reasons we started doing this was to say, you know what, who can we help and how can we navigate things that people are wondering? So yeah, get a hold of us if you have those questions. And otherwise, we look forward to chatting with you next time.
Thank you.
Let's make sure we're on the same page. This is general educational info, not personal advice. We don't know your goals or financial situation. Before making any decisions, it's always recommended to talk to a qualified professional who can tailor guidance to your specific needs after learning more about you. Here are some more exciting disclosures to help make this even more clear. This information is not intended to be a substitute for specific individualized tax or investment advice. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA/SIPC, Investment advice offered through Harborfront Financial Group, a registered investment advisor. Harborfront Financial Group and Custer Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial. Investment advice will only be given after a client engages our services by executing the appropriate investment services agreement. Harborfront Financial Group DBA Custer Financial Advisors CFA is a registered investment advisor RIA. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training, and the content of this communication has not been approved or verified by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission or by any state securities authority. Custer Financial Advisors renders individualized investment advice to persons in a particular state only after complying with the state's regulatory requirements or pursuant to an applicable state exemption or exclusion. All investments carry risk. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect from loss of capital. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Advisory services offered through Harborfront Financial Group, CRD number 331763,